Yeah, theory time. The ability that Sora keeps on being hinted at to have is something that's very elusive in the Kingdom Hearts series, and is very vague as to how much we actually know about this ability. And this ability is said to be an ability that allows Sora to kind of be able to create and give life off to certain people who have either lost their lives, as long as Sora has a connection to these characters. And we don't really even know the laws of this, or the kind of setup for this ability. We just know that something like this actually exists. So with that, I wanted to actually talk to you guys about a possibility that I just found out, that maybe Sora has used this ability already once before, and we just never really realized it until just now when I pointed out for you guys. So back in Kingdom Hearts 1, if you remember, Sora actually wound up turning the key of two people's hearts, or the Keyblade that Ansem was using to kind of unlock the power of darkness inside of Maleficent. And then I think like right after that, he just lost the Keyblade and he just ran off like, oh, I lost the Keyblade, I'm out of here. But anyway, Sora actually wound up using that Keyblade, turned it on himself, and released his heart. Now, when he did this, Sora actually was reduced to nothing but a Heartless. And when he became a Heartless, he still was able to, kind of realize that Donald, Goofy, and Kairi were pretty much still his friends. And with that, he didn't want to attack them, but at the same time, he kind of just wanted to be around to protect them. But as Sora kept on falling further and further into the darkness, he kind of slowly was losing who he was, so it probably would have turned on him at some point. But Kairi actually wound up hugging Sora as in his heartless state, and she wound up telling Sora, she needed him to protect her. So when he actually heard that inside of the darkness, Sora once again came back. Now, initially what happened was, it was spoken of as if Kairi's heart kind of spoke to Sora's heart in the darkness, and that's kind of how he was able to return. But we still have to look at this from a logical standpoint. If Sora released his heart would go into the ether, wherever hearts go from human beings when they're released. Especially since Sora released his own heart, it isn't like a Heartless captured his heart for him to be able to destroy that Heartless and actually get his heart back in that sense. So in a form or some way, form or fashion, Sora really doesn't have a heart in these times. Sora doesn't have a heart that he can have and actually keep as his own. Now, what does this mean for Sora and the ability that he's supposed to have? Simply put, Sora used the ability to recreate his heart and recreate, Ventus' heart at the same time. This is some crazy ass shit when we think about it, because Sora doesn't know that he has this ability. No one has flat out told Sora, hey dude, you can bring people back to life, right? And with that, Sora is kind of just going on this adventure, and they're trying to let him experience it and find this ability on his own, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, if they tell him about this ability, it's kind of harmful to him, because he could use it to do bring back other people like villains. I think he could also do that as well. Some villains have had their hearts released, and if he does something like that, then these characters will just pop up again, kind of like what happened with in Castle Oblivion, those characters and stuff. Even though Sora had his own griefs and his own disdain for those characters, he still applied them characters to his heart. Those characters still went into his heart, because from Sora's perspective, everybody that he's fought, everybody that he's met and had different type of, feelings and different types of aspects and views on life and what it means to actually be a person, those people all affect Sora in a positive way. They all keep Sora as who he is, the person he needs to be. So with that, you can pretty much say all of these characters are connected to Sora, so Sora needs to find this ability on his own, so that way he can make use of this ability in a proper light. Of course, just telling Sora that he has this ability, he may try too hard and wind up reviving everyone inside of his heart, and that's pretty dangerous, of course, especially if giving these people life means that he has to take out 5% of his own heart. Imagine if he brought back 20 people. That's 5 times 20, and that's 100. So No, wait. Yeah, that's 100. So, of course, Sora would be in danger of losing 100% of his heart. And that's some pretty serious shit. But in that time when he actually was a heartless, Sora did actually wind up using this ability. And we can concur this because of the fact that Sora, there's no possible way that he had a heart to be able to come back to life, even if Kairi did reach out to him inside of the darkness. So that means Sora gave himself his own new heart. And that's some crazy shit, guys. So let me know what you think about this theory. Do you think it's kind of true? Have you realized this before? Did you just like not say anything because of course you probably don't do YouTube, or you probably feel like you can't do YouTube? And this is why I always say get in the comments section, man. This type of stuff is crazy right here because I've been thinking about this for about, I think, somewhere around 3 days now, and now that I finally brought it out, I just want to know you guys' thoughts so bad because I feel like so many people are going to be like mind blown because it's crazy to think that he actually has used this ability before. And now in Kingdom Hearts 3, one of the main plot points is him learning how to do this ability once again, and he did it on accident.